Jessica, our favourite best-selling author, Let's Go Racing. It'll be available in good and a couple of bad bookshops from the 1st of September. So congratulations, Jess, on being able to put that together. And yes, Century Batteries, Ipswich Super 440, Queensland Raceway. And this is a very, very important event for us because we're about to wrap up the first portion in the storytelling of the Repco Supercars Championship of 2025. John Glad. This has got a full-blown race going on up the back straight here.
I've never seen that.
The Car Park Grand Prix at Queensland Raceway up into turn 3. How's the number of cars that managed to all feed out in the same place? And they've actually made contact, so Waters has got into the back of one of the Penrite cars coming out of turn 3. I thought we all of a sudden flicked up a replay from yesteryear.
This is seriously, we've talked about the traffic getting into this venue on the road getting in, but how's that for peak hour? There's a minute 50 remaining. Cam Waters ran into the back. I don't know whether it was Payne or Kai Allen. And now Reynolds and Waters are alongside each other. They're going to battle. How's this?
A little bit of congestion. Supercar Saturday gets off to an energetic start, Queensland Raceway. Kind of, sort of. Not huge speed, but gigantic congestion, and then there actually ended up being a bit of contact there. So, jumped on here with Nick Percat. Aaron Cameron's just been bumped out of that top 10 by virtue of the lap that we just witnessed with Hill. A lot of wheel work going on inside the cockpit of car number 10 there. There's those flags in the foreground that Mark was talking about with a bit of breeze that's built up today. Coming up to the 10-second mark now. No shift in the top 10 at the moment as laps are completed. Cam Waters down in 13th position here at the moment. Now, Nick Percat, we were riding with him in tyre preparation there a moment ago, but he's done the fastest first sector mark down in 22nd. He's a big chance to vault if he keeps this lap glued together. LeBrock's just jumped up 19 spots into position number 7. Will Brown's on a very fast lap in position 2. Cooper Murray's on screen here in car number 99. And he's position number 13. Bit of a slide out of that final corner, but it didn't affect him too much because he's jumped well and truly to the north end of the top 10. Hill's moved up 3 spots on his second flying lap as well. Will Brown, he's charging out there at the moment. 22.7 for him in the first sector, is about half a tenth away. Aaron Cameron's back in that top 10. Matty Payne just on the outside. Check flags being shown to the field. That is a very, very cool shot of turn 6. Actually gives you a better understanding of the radius of that corner. That was cool. 8.4, Will Brown to the top. 8/100ths of a second. Brock Feeney responds with an 8.1. That is a blinder off by Feeney. 0.2 of a second over his teammate. That was a rocket lap. Kai Allen up 18 spots, position 5 for him.
That is so impressive. To gap the field by almost 3/10 and to gap his teammate by that margin, that is extraordinary. We saw the 8.59 on used tyres and we said it was impressive, but then on a fresh tyre, he has done the fastest first, second and third sectors. The cumulative number is an 8.18. What they've also done, Sticky and Hill have done essentially another warm-up lap, and the number right now for Aaron Cameron, he's actually on his second lap and going faster straight away.
They all are. Their second lap is improving for both Brock Feeney and for Will Brown. They've just traded fastest first sectors on this lap. We're jumping on board now with Brock. He's on the run up to one of only 2 left-handers in this racetrack. So this is turn 4. Actually, the marshalling points changed from when we were last here in 2019. There used to be one on the approach to 4, and there used to be another one on the approach to 6. That's one of the little architectural changes on the fringe of the racetrack. Fast mid-sector here for Feeney. He's on top of the game at the moment to try and punch out something even better than a 1 minute 8.27.
This is going to be great. This is a great lap.
To the control line for Feeney, and he's done an 8.24. And how about that 8.13 there for Feeney? That is a huge number. Kai Allen moves up 6 spots into position number 3. So Brock Feeney's got a 0.1 margin. Di Pasquale to 3rd. Ryan Wood topples him now. Cooper Murray up into position number 5. Great intensity at the back end of the quali session. And what has Chaz got? It's good enough to bring him up into position number 4, up 6 spots on that lap in the Mobil 1 Optus entry. So Feeney gets a 1 minute 8.13 for a new quali record, the fastest lap that we've seen. And that was a great lap. But interesting that they had to do it on the second tour.
lap. Yeah, exactly. So, and pretty much the whole field did that. Ryan Wood, that's a really nice performance by him. His head-to-head battles this year with his teammate Mostert have been extraordinary, because coming into today, it was 13-9 head-to-head. So now he's just knocked him off again. So 14-9 head-to-head versus Mostert. That's a very impressive record for the young Kiwi.
Now, Brody's still on his lap here, so we can't conclude the top 10 just yet. Aaron Cameron's come back into the lane. Let's see what Brode's got for us when he gets down to the line here. And it moves him up nicely. So he's gone up into position number 5. 8.75 for Wood. 1/100th of a second over Brock Feeney. We've just got a little over 1 minute remaining. Look at the totem there at the moment.
Feeney's been caught. He's down in behind James Courtney. He's probably got a big enough gap now to be able to get away with it. And what you might find, Neil, is that they'll probably do the warm-up lap again and make the second lap count.
Sudden death with 45 seconds remaining. The red line is your focus at home, folks. Are you able to progress into that top 10, or do you get punted out? There's a lot of congestion out there at the moment. Our focus on Anton De Pasquale. He's sitting in 4th at the moment. Brock Feeney's got James Courtney right in his gun sights there. Out of that final corner, does that create a compromise? But he's already in that top 10, remember. He's at the sharp end of this field. And he goes to the top on an 8.6. He got away with it. But that's how close and what a challenge it is when you find yourself mixed up with others, when you need as much fresh air as possible in qualifying. 6/100ths of a second is the gap between Brock Feeney and Ryan Wood. Aaron Cameron's just come up into position number 6. Repco curb cam gives us an awesome shot of turn 5.
Pretty wide there of turn 5.
Who's in trouble here, Mark? So we've got Allen outside. We've still got a bunch of people to complete their laps, so it's certainly not frozen yet. Murray's outside, Reynolds, Kostecki.
This is going to change massively, Neil. De Pasquale even. He just made a little mistake there at the last corner, but he's gone to the top. He's 12/10,000ths of a second ahead of Brock Feeney with an 8.68.
Richie Stanaway jumps in nicely. So does David Reynolds to position number 3. 8.6 is the target number. Golding's in the party now as well. He's gone to 6th over his teammate. Cooper Murray comes up into 8th. You forecast big change. We're getting it after the flags come out. Mostert into the top 10. Waters into the top 10. Randall into the top 10. Others are tumbling out. Payne came up 3 spots, but not enough. He's 11th. Davison and Kostecki moved up, but equally not enough. They're outside the top 10. Heimgartner came up 7 spots, but he drops into 19th.
Amazing change there. Massive change through the field. Good to see James Golding at least get a lap in there, as he's ended up 7th.
Garth, what can you tell us, sir?
Rain in pit lane. It is now drizzling in pit lane, and I look towards one where they're all headed right now, and it is raining down there. They need to get it done on this lap.
Off the road straight away, Cam Waters. So straight away, your prediction, and his teammate, Thomas Randall's off the track further. So this is going to be out of control. We've already seen 2 of the very best guys go straight off. Now he's just rejoined. Have a look at that. That's why. So your pick straight away, GT, of raining in pit lane has just evolved into turn 1. And what an exit there for Waters and Randall. This is now wild.
So now, no one's done a lap.
Yep.
So they're going to have to come in and put wets on. So in fact, they've got out of jail here. So I think everyone's managed to scramble out of the gravel traps. So all that's happened is they've had a fright. There's no numbers on the board. So get it back in without hurting the car. Get some wets on. Whoa, speaking of hurting the car. Whoa, stand well back. So that is a bit of a lucky break for the 10 cars out there in these conditions at the moment. So as the Tanda poetry, there's rain in the pit lane. And you can see how awkward these cars are.
Wet's ready now. Wet's be way faster.
Yeah, so you got to get...
Hurry up, getting in.
On the slick tyre, you just can't control. Somebody else is out in the weeds there as well. You just can't control the car. It sits up on the weather, I beg your pardon, on the top of the road, and you just can't make it turn. Let's get to Chad.
There you go.
So high quality driver who's got a couple of Bathurst victories, who's a contender week in and week out, with all of that skill and all of that knowledge and understanding. He's battling to keep that race car on the racetrack, and so it was an opportune moment to just have a look over his shoulder.
Okay, 3 minutes 20, 3 minutes 20. Just need to get a banker in, mate.
Out there at the moment, it would be hard work. And another car off the road. Brown's just speared off at 5, and rotate she goes.
Beautifully done. Oh, no, I gave him a wrap before he finished it. He gassed it up, spun it around, looked like he was going to... And Randall off the road too.
Yeah,
so
okay,
Randall and
okay,
Mostert
that's
were the
fine.
first ones
All 3 minutes
onto a
remaining.
wet tyre. But they both disappeared off the road at turn 4 together. And he's about to also.
3 minutes.
He's gathered it up. Nice save.
Let's check out our top 10 qualifying now for our second of the 2 races that come up in the coverage later on this afternoon on Fox Sports. And we've got Brock Feeney home by 0.478 over Ryan Wood. Makes for an interesting blast off the line. Who knows what the weather's going to be this afternoon.